Oh my God. This is live right now?
We are live. Hello, everybody.
Oh boy, this
We
was
are here. True Global Property Solution, George Costanzo and Carolina Waliki. And we have a company that we started called True Global Property Solutions, where we provide one stop shop for property acquisition in the commercial or residential side.
and
And so today we were having a little difficult time figuring out what to talk about today, to be honest, because um, we have talked about residential lending a lot. We've talked some about commercial lending, and the importance of sleep and the importance of getting good rest and the importance of being able to communicate with your business partner came about. So today we're just going to talk about the importance of sleep and the importance of having a good routine when you're trying to initiate your business, and especially when you're working with somebody, and being able to communicate with somebody as to about how you're doing on your everyday life. Is there anything that you'd like to add, George?
yeah, sleep's overrated. Uh, no, I, me personally, if I get 6 hours sleep, I'm good. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Um, we tend to be up. We have a meeting every morning and every evening, Carolina and I and myself, um, at 9 o'clock in the morning and 9 o'clock at night, just to recap the day at night. And a lot of times we end up talking about things, and sometimes it goes a little long. And it's important that you have good communication with your partner. Um, and sometimes cutting things short just doesn't make sense, because you're on a train of thought, or maybe you're supporting one or the other, and there's just things you want to talk about. And in those instances, I mean, we try to cut it short when we can, but there's other times where we just can't, where we need to finish our thought and finish our conversation. And that cuts into the sleep sometimes, because I know for myself, I'm up at 4 in the morning. Carolina gets up at 5 in the morning. So, once we get past that 10 o'clock mark, it gets a little rough for us.
Yeah, that's true. But I think, the recapping in the morning and recapping on the evenings has been very helpful to us. And it's quite frankly something that I wasn't used to when we started doing it. I mean, we found ourselves always like meeting on the evenings. And then there came a point where we said, okay, we're going to meet in the mornings and we're going to meet at nights. And it's really become important in terms of setting our day up. And then on the evening, being able to recap, especially to account for what we've done that day, for what we've gained, especially. I think before we were actually accounting for that, there were days where we were both sitting at the computer for the whole day working really hard, and it didn't feel as encouraging because it felt like we weren't doing anything. And so being able to count for that and being able to really quantify, well, we actually did a Zoom with this many people and we were able to talk about this deal or that deal, or today we basically we were able to solidify and quantify the progress that we were making based on what we were doing on our daily activity,
Yeah,
which oftentimes, because our business is more of a longer term reward, 3 months if it's a sale or a purchase in the residential like real estate side, or if we're helping somebody with financing, it could also take a while, right, George?
yeah, it depends on the deal. Um, one thing about the recap at night that we started to notice is we had a lot of wins. And when you take the time to go back over your day and the things that happened, you're going to find that there's a lot of wins. There's a lot of things that are wins. You started a new relationship. You followed up with someone, and there's progress being made towards doing business together,
Mhm.
or you got a deal, or whatever it is. If you're working all day long, you're going to find wins. And when you start quantifying and reviewing those wins every day, it gives you a boost of energy, and you realize that you are making progress. Maybe the payoff's not there right away, but the progress is there, and those are wins. Progress is wins. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. So, however you can review your day and identify positive things that happened, you got to count those as wins, and that's gonna, help keep the momentum going, and keep your energy level high.
I think it also helps for us, like, definitely to reinforce that not only to ourselves, but also to be able to specifically speak to whatever your partner did that it positively impacted what was happening or what we have on the pipeline. Like, I think it's so great that, like, for example, George and I have different have strengths in different aspects of the business. George is very structured, very calendar based. Like, he really is able to adhere, but then also is able to incorporate simple steps for a greater plan. I'm a little bit more all over the place, so I feel like he kind of keeps us nice and tight and going towards a target, while I tend to get a little bit discombobulated. So I think it's been very helpful when he said, wait a minute, we need to sort of recenter our targets, or we need to move towards XYZ, and let's sit down and let's prioritize exactly what we need to do when. Because I tend to work in a bit of more of a disorganized manner. I mean, it's worked in the end, but it's not as prioritized and as times. I take care of deadlines when I have to, but it's not. He does a really good job of prioritizing things based on what is needed currently and right now, or anticipating the need. So it's been really great to be able to play off of both sides and be able to still move towards a common goal together, and be able to use that morning time to set up our day, and then that evening to celebrate our wins or talk about what we could do different, or celebrate our strengths and celebrate each other on what we're doing to move towards that common goal. And then collectively, or over the longer time frame, we meet once a week. About George comes to New York, or we meet, and then we're able to really spend a whole day working on our business together, and that usually entails working on a greater plan, or working on different steps to get us somewhere. So it's something that's really, quite frankly, when we started talking about it, I thought maybe that's a little too much, maybe like I'm gonna feel like micromanaged, but it's actually been great. And we actually spend most of the day connected via Zoom, as if we were in an office, even though he's in New Jersey, I'm in New York. But the whole day, even if we're just typing away, we're in Zoom. So that way, if we have ideas or thoughts or little conversations about whatever, we can just look up at the other one and talk, or, follow up on things very immediately without necessarily having to occupy the same space. So that's also been really nice.
Yeah, I think um, it's important to identify and recognize each other's strengths, um, and embrace that. Right, like you're both not going to be good at everything. Like some people are going to be stronger at one thing than others. Um, like one of the things Carolina does for me is, we're usually on the same page, but I like to say we're not always on the same line in the page.
Mhm.
And she'll have like a different angle or a different take on things. And that's really productive and really helps reinforce the decisions that we make, because it's thought out, like you don't want to be yes people for each other. You want a little bit of push and pull, and so that you've really taken a good look at things. Um, yeah, and just there needs to be synergy in any partnership. Um, I don't, I can't fathom being partners with someone who's not in sync with me, and that's important. If you don't have, I'm sorry, if you don't have that, then you really need to rethink your partnership, because I can't see how you have a successful business when you're partners and you're just not in sync. The energy you get from each other, the productivity that comes about, the ideas that come about. Um, when you're on the same page with somebody, it's a lot of good things happen. So, if you are in a partnership and you are in sync, hopefully some of the things we discussed will help you and take a look at your situation and maybe restructure a little and you know hopefully it's a positive thing.
Yeah, I think it's been also very interesting for me. And I know I've talked about this in the sense of how I was taken aback by it in the sense of having joined the Grant Cardone 10X Accelerator program and thinking that I was purchasing a business training and ending up with a much deeper personal development than I was anticipating. And I think the same thing happens in a partnership, right? You start having this idea that's going to be business and you end up developing this very close relationship with somebody where you have each other's backs and you can tell when the other person's not 100% on, and you're able to have conversations that help you move on or that help you sort of be able to digest things. So it's been really a gift to have somebody that has helped me at times like get over some hurdles or think about some things in a different way, or at times when I haven't believed that I'm going to be able to do this, he's been there and he's told me, no, we are going to do this, and this is why, and it's pulled me forward. And you know I just think it's been so much more than I initially thought it was going to be. I i we started as a business partnership, and it was the lives and everything client based, and then the more time we spent with each other and the more we got to know that our core values aligned and our visions aligned, it's become a lot of a close friendship that's been really nice and invaluable to have.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's worked both ways. There have been times where one of us is pulling the other and one of us is pushing the other, and you need that. You can't always be the person in front
Mhm.
leading. Sometimes you need someone else to take the reins and pull you along. um, and that just goes to the growth of your business and your personal development, right? Like we're both very um, serious about our personal development. We talk about it all the time. We help each other to personally grow, and that's reflected in our business and how we run our business, the people who we do business with, the people that we attract in our business, all comes from that. And that's all on a personal level that starts and comes back into the business. So, there's a lot of things I think we do really well and that have helped us. And definitely the support we give each other, um, both professionally and personally, has just been, nothing short of amazing.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. It's really nice when you are able to find somebody that you can work with for extended periods of time, and that you're able to work through hurdles or work through, if there's a miscommunication or if there's a misunderstanding, you are able to talk freely and be able to trust that the other person isn't misinterpreting but actually will be able to listen to your concerns and take them in and think about them and respond in a way that is healthy for the relationship. So it's been really great. So basically, this started as a talk about the importance of sleep and the importance of being able to communicate. And also, there's differences. George says 6 hours. I'm okay with 6 hours for some time, but on the weekend, I like to sleep until 7. So, I think it depends. And I think I've really appreciated from being able to work with George in the sense that he's been trusting and respectful of my own preferences and needs professionally and personally, because there's a certain trust, because we know each other professionally enough to know that we're both invested, that we're hardworking, that nobody's looking to slack and slide and, undermine the efforts of the other, but that we're there to support. And I think there's a nice, deep level of trust that I really have appreciated and really value. So,
Ab- Absolutely. I feel the same.
yeah. Anyway, so I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's our 2 cents for today. We didn't talk about mortgaging or financing or finding your dream home, although, of course, we can help you do that. But we talked more about the complexities of growing a global company with a business partner. So tune in next time for more. We will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.